Hey, welcome back to another video. Michelle here, and we're gonna do a good old-fashioned unboxing video, check out some of the gear that I bought. I'm super excited. Nothing like too crazy or super high-tech, nothing like that. I am trying to keep it very minimal, very intentional this year. So let's get right into it. The first product that I'm actually really excited to check out is this small little filter case. Now, technically, I do have a filter case that I absolutely love. So I will explain as to why I bought this. Because I do have and use the Peter McKinnon Nomadic filter case as kind of like an at-home or studio where all my filters do live. I don't have that many, I think I have 4, so not too bad. I still have room for 2 more filters, but I have used this one going on trips because this is my first and only filter case that I like. It's very sturdy, like I know that my filters are going to be very well protected here. However, my last trip when I went to Scotland, and that one I consider that as like my last like big trip that I took, I did take this filter case as I was wanting to be able to use the Cinebloom filter as well as the ND filter and just have a few options here and there. And this was actually very heavy and cumbersome to kind of carry. So because of how cumbersome and big this case was, I actually would just rather leave this at the hotel and just use one filter and be stuck with it and be like, okay, this is the filter that I'm gonna be using for today. And so it just discouraged me from actually taking this filter case with me, as well as just not being able to use the filters that I wanted pretty much whenever. So that got me thinking, what's an alternative case to this? So after doing some research and stuff like that, I came across this one. It's from Mindshift. It's a Filter Nest Mini, and I love the actual size of it. It's half the size of the filter case. It still has enough room for 4 filters, which is more than enough. I mean, that carries all the filters that I have. So more than enough as I try in the future, for any future trips, to really condense the gear that I take. This is going to be perfect. It's protective enough. I'm not like really heavy or really hard on my gear, especially if I know it's like my camera gear, I'm gonna take extra precaution. So I think this is just more than enough to be able to carry around up to 4 filters, very small, minimal carrying case. It takes up a lot less room. I'm really excited. I really do hope that this kind of fits the idea or thought behind me purchasing this. And this was only, I'll list the price or links down below if you are interested in checking any of these items out. It's not too many, again, trying to keep it very minimal this year, but super excited to be able to carry around this little guy. Now this next one is actually a lot bigger than I expected. I think I should have gone with the size right below it, but it is this protective wrap from Domke, I don't know. I got it in this red color. Let's just open it up first. Let's see. So if you don't know what these are, they're like protective, actually maybe this is a good size. This is like a protective, what do you call it? Padded protective sleeve blanket that you can use to wrap around, whether it be your camera, a lens, or anything like that. This is kind of the big size that they have. Wow, that red is very vibrant. I actually really like it. On this side, they kind of have kind of like a nylon. This is the inside where you would wrap your items. I wish it was a little softer, but I know it's not gonna scratch anything up or anything like that. But, and then this side is the soft. That's weird. Why is the soft side? But I guess that's because you can Velcro this to wherever, because it's supposed to form to whatever device or thing that you need it. So let's say this is too small. Let's say I wanted to take this, it's a lens, a 24 to 105. I can kind of put it right in the middle and just start like wrapping it around like kind of like a baby or like a burrito of some sort. So I created kind of like this little funnel here. So I could theoretically take the lens in and out like this, right? Without having to wrap it up. But then when it's done, I can just kind of fold that over and boom, then I can stuff this into a bag or whatever, and it's relatively protective. Again, going with the same thought behind this new filter case, I just wanted something that gives me a little bit extra peace of mind when putting gear, camera gear, into a non-camera backpack. So thoughts behind this one, why did I buy it? Well, I didn't buy it for a lens. I actually bought it to carry around as a cover or wrap for my camera. Going back to the last trip, I technically did use my camera outside at all times. I had it at the Peak Design strap here, shoot, put it back, clip on and back and forth. Loved it. I used it all the time, my camera. But then I would stop by for a restaurant and I didn't really want to put my camera with the strap on the table. And then the backpack that I bought out there then ended up using as kind of like an everyday thing, it's not a camera backpack. So it doesn't have like hard shell, it's not very protective, but I love how lightweight it was. Well, I would just end up putting the camera inside of the backpack just as is. Now, I'm not saying that due to that trip, my camera now has scuffs and marks, not at all. But again, it just goes back to peace of mind of if I had this where I could just wrap up the camera really quick and then stuff it into my backpack. Again, just that extra piece of protective layer in it would have gone a long way. So I'm very excited to be able to use this and see if I actually use it in the way that I'm intending to. But this is really cool. I love how it's red, so it's very easy to pop out when you're looking into a bag. So if I did want to stuff this in maybe a duffel, whatever, a black hole of a bag that I may have, I know exactly where my camera gear is. All right, now on to the last item and most expensive item. I went ahead and bought, I hope I don't regret it, but the GoPro Hero filter case from Polar Pro. Or not filter case, but filters. This is the shutter control. It has an ND8, 16, and 32. You can use it on any from 9, 10, or 11 GoPros. I, as the poor person, have only the GoPro Hero 9. I feel like GoPro has just been like spewing out new GoPros every year. So I feel very behind, but also I'm okay with that. But why did I buy this filter case? Well, I really hate that I don't use my GoPro at all. I brought it to, again, my last trip. It's a theme here. I'm trying to improve any trips that I have in the future and really dial it down. So again, this is why I went ahead and bought this, because I did not use my GoPro at my last trip at all. I carried it with me, so it was like dead weight looking back on the trip, but I don't want that. As a creative, I'm really trying to expand what type of gear that I use, but using it well. I don't know how to fit the GoPro in my typical shooting styles. I think that's the right word or way to put it. And I know that the GoPro has come a long way, especially from like the previous ones, and I just want to get the most out of it. So this was like a kind of like a treat as like new gear, but without having to pay for new gear. So I'm hoping that this might make me use my GoPro more. I mean, I even bought this mic mod, which I did a whole little like vlog on it. I think it's great. I'm trying to still learn the ins and outs of the settings for it to see what would be best use case scenario, especially, and when to use it. I don't know when to pull this out and then like beep, boop, 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 shoot, and then get something that I'm actually proud of or usable to use in a video. So I'm hoping that this changes it a bit. Very small, minimal case, so I think it should be very easy to carry around with. Accompanying the GoPro itself, it shouldn't take a whole bunch of space in a bag. So that's kind of the theory or the thought behind this purchase, was to hopefully make me use a piece of tech, a piece of gear that I have and own more and use it more efficiently. So I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna try to force myself to at least a few times a week just pull this out, use it, even if I don't use the footage, but just to start practicing. I do think that you have to start using your gear in order to know it. So don't be afraid if you're brand new into like any sort of camera or creative world. Use the gear that you have, but using it in different ways that you might not be like accustomed to, because that's gonna grow your skill set, and that's hopefully, I mean, ideally with time, that's gonna come out with really good footage that you might have not had before if you stuck with your old ways. So this was me trying to make an intent on this year, 2023. Hopefully get to use my GoPro more and actually use it into my workflow. But that's this video. I wanted to do a good old-fashioned unboxing. I'm super excited. I don't have any real set plans for travel anytime super soon. I'm hoping to take a trip sometime next month, but that's gonna be like a quick weekend just to spend some time with some friends. So other than that though, I'm very excited to use these. I wanna go on a trip now because now I wanna put all of these to the test and see if it actually works the way that I have in mind. But if you have any questions about these products, comment down below. I will leave links to all of these down below as well. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, because that does help this channel a whole bunch. And I'll see you guys on the next one.